Hey guys, mcfixit here. These are one of my favorite pair of sandals, and they're actually relatively new, made by Columbia, which is normally a decent product. The tongue came out, and it was glued in, obviously. The other one still works really well, so we're going to work on getting this and fixing it by putting it back in with some glue and clamping it down. And so you'll find out all the steps in this project to kind of help you through that. Here are the tools that you're going to need for this project. You're going to want some kind of really nice glue that is really good at holding all types of different material. I really like Gorilla Glue, works really well. You're going to want some gloves. You're also going to want a clamp. This does work best with a clamp, and some blue tape to put over the clamp so you don't mess up your clamp. It just makes it real easy. Some kind of container, some water. You also want some Q-tips. You will want something to push in, and so a pick works really well. Push in that little piece. You might want a blade of some sort, some kind of an X-Acto knife. If you do put way too much on, it does help cut it off. Also, you might want some shop towels to help clean up afterwards. Also, water for those shop towels will just kind of help clean that off and get that good as new. And so these are the tools that you need to make this project complete. So go ahead and put on some gloves. This will help you keep yourself from getting glued on. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and get your clamp and get a little piece of tape for both sides. Just a couple of inches will do for each side. This just helps kind of say, you can see I've used these on other projects, and they start to get ruined after a while if you don't do this little tip. Just like that. You just kind of wrap it around. Nothing super special. You could probably use other kinds of tape, masking tape, but this blue tape works really well because it just comes right back off. And so that's ready to go, which is awesome. Next thing you're going to do is get your Gorilla Glue. You can go off the cap here. I actually prefer to just go ahead and open it up. This has been used a lot. It's less than half full, and one of the things I don't like about Gorilla Glue is once they get to this point, you almost have to use a Q-tip for it to work. The next thing you're going to do is go ahead and get some water. And I just spilled on the table. You don't really need that much, but whatever. And you're going to go ahead and damp the area. So just take your fingers and make this nice and damp. And then we're going to try to get some down in there as well. I say that is how this works the best. And so now that that is damp, we're going to go ahead and grab Q-tip. Stick it down in there where the glue is. You might have to squeeze it a little bit. Again, I use Gorilla Glue a lot. I really like it. And we will trim up the Gorilla Glue at the end. So now that that's damp, you can go ahead and get that out of the way. And the goal of this is to actually get it down in the hole the best you can. And then we'll also wet up both sides here. Make sure there's a lot of glue. Now, Gorilla Glue expands, but you can cut it back after it has expanded. And it may actually reactivate some of the glue that's already in here. Good thing about that water dish, you can throw that right in there. Get your pick. There's lots of different kinds of picks you can get. I do like this set that I have. I've had it for years. It just works well. And you just start to kind of fold this like this in half, and then begin to just kind of push it down, and then kind of push it up towards the front. And so once you kind of get that, we're going to grab the other sandal just for kind of a point of reference. Again, these weren't like the cheapest sandals, but they were a lot more than like those, well, I call them the $1 Old Navy ones. That's what they were like 20 years ago. They're probably like $12 now. But you're going to want to go ahead and make sure this is straight how you want it, just like the other one was. And we'll compare here in a second to make sure we did exactly what we wanted it to do. Again, I'm just going down and kind of picking it and pushing it under. We want it the same length as the other, so you can kind of compare. It's getting pretty close. So this other one did have a little bit of a V, so I'm going to try to recreate that as well in the center here, just so it feels as natural as possible. The next thing we're going to do is go ahead and clamp down right there and let that sit. And most things you can clamp together in this. It does say about 60 minutes they need to be clamped together. So go ahead and get yourself some shop towels. These work really well, so you go ahead and take it, get it damp, and you can just kind of clean up the area around it just to make sure it doesn't get extra sticky. But we will show you how to get any of the additional residue off. And this is also a good time to clean off your pick, because if you don't, it will stay on there. So go ahead and clean that off really well. And then you can go ahead and throw all this kind of stuff away afterwards. So we're at about the 1 hour mark, which is where you're going to go ahead and see if it has gone ahead and kind of cured. And so if you take this off, you will see that it has, you can start to see just a touch of white, and we'll clean that up in a little bit. But yeah, you're going to go ahead and let that sit for up to 24 hours. That will just ensure that this is a super great bond and fit, but it's not sticky at all. You can see a little bit of sheen, and so we'll just clean that up with some water and some paper towels. If it gets real bad, you can use like an X-Acto knife or a box cutter and kind of clean up the little areas. But again, I would wait until it's been 24 hours. But that is already starting to look good. They're at the same height as the other ones, so that'll be awesome when that's all done. So then I'll be able to wear my sandals again. So it's now been 24 hours. You can see that is really good. I'm going to pull that really, really hard. Yeah, that is fantastic. That is exactly what I need to do. I'm going to show you how to clean this up just a little bit. Go ahead and get a little bit of water and just begin to kind of scrub that. If you do have any big chunks, you can always use, like I said a minute ago, an X-Acto knife and get those out of there. Wouldn't worry about it too much though, because when you are walking on this, it's not going to be real visible, and it's not sticky or anything like that. So that's how you fix it. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe. Do lots of videos on how to fix pretty much just about anything. Thank you guys so much.